Aging is a natural part of life, but as our loved ones grow older, there are often subtle signs that they may be nearing their final year, signs that many people overlook until it's too late. It's not just about sudden illness or dramatic changes. Sometimes, the indicators are quiet, almost imperceptible, yet deeply significant. Understanding these subtle shifts can help us provide the best care, comfort, and emotional support when it matters most. In this video, we'll uncover 5 crucial warning signs that an elderly person may be in their final year. Some of these may surprise you, as they often appear in ways you wouldn't expect, but recognizing them early can make a profound difference in how we prepare, support, and cherish the time left with our loved ones. Stay with us to the end, because these insights could change how you see the aging process forever. You might be wondering, how can we truly know when someone is nearing the final year of their life? The truth is, no one can expect absolute certainty. But research and real-life experiences have identified patterns that often emerge in the final stages of life. These changes aren't always medical. Sometimes, they show up in emotions, behaviors, or even shifts in social relationships. The sooner we recognize them, the better we can respond with love and care. Let's explore these 5 key signs together. And trust me, the last one is something most people never expect, but absolutely should know. Have you ever witnessed or experienced something similar? Share your thoughts in the comments below so we can learn from and support each other. Let's dive into these 5 key signs. And trust me, the last one is something most people never expect, but should absolutely be aware of. Sign 1. Unintended weight loss and decreased appetite. A critical warning sign. Has someone you love recently lost weight without trying? Have they started eating less, pushing away meals they once enjoyed? If so, it's important to pay attention. Unintended weight loss and a significant decline in appetite are not just part of normal aging. They can be an early sign that the body is beginning to shut down, preparing for the final stages of life. Why does this happen? As we age, our metabolism naturally slows, and the body requires fewer calories. But in the final months of life, this process becomes even more pronounced. Dr. Catherine Mannix, a palliative care physician and author of With the End in Mind, explains that the body instinctively begins conserving energy, focusing only on essential functions. This often results in reduced hunger, a diminished sense of taste, and even difficulty swallowing. A study published by the Cleveland Clinic further supports this, stating that as the body nears the end of life, digestion slows, making it harder to process food efficiently. This leads to persistent nausea, early satiety, and even physical discomfort after eating. Many elderly individuals report that food no longer tastes the same or that they simply don't feel hungry. But this isn't just a harmless change. It can be a signal that the body is shifting toward the end-of-life phase. More than just aging, a hidden health crisis. While some families may dismiss weight loss as a natural consequence of aging, it can often indicate a serious underlying issue. Dr. Diane Meyer, a professor of geriatrics and palliative medicine at Mount Sinai School of Medicine, emphasizes that weight loss in older adults should always be investigated. Sudden weight loss is a red flag, she says. It can indicate a decline in organ function, undiagnosed cancer, or even progressive neurological diseases like Parkinson's or Alzheimer's. Consider the case of Mrs. Thompson, an 85-year-old woman with no significant medical history. Over 6 months, her family noticed she was eating less and losing weight, but assumed it was simply due to aging. However, a medical evaluation revealed advanced pancreatic cancer. Had her symptoms been recognized earlier, palliative care could have been initiated sooner, improving her comfort and quality of life in her final months. Unfortunately, stories like this are all too common. Research from the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that unintentional weight loss in older adults is associated with a significantly higher risk of mortality within 6 months. This is why early intervention matters. Signs to watch for. If you're caring for an elderly loved one, be mindful of these warning signs. Noticeable weight loss, clothing becoming loose, rings fitting differently, loss of interest in food, turning away from meals, eating only a few bites. Changes in swallowing or chewing, coughing while eating, food feeling stuck. Increased fatigue and weakness, struggling to stand or move after eating. If you see these signs, don't wait. Encourage your loved one to see a doctor and consider consulting a palliative care specialist. Early support can help manage symptoms, ensuring they receive the care and comfort they deserve. How can you help? It's natural to want to encourage a loved one to eat more, but forcing food isn't always the answer. Dr. B.J. Miller, a hospice and palliative care physician, explains that rather than focusing on how much someone eats, we should focus on their comfort and preferences. Offer small, nutrient-dense meals instead of large portions. Prioritize favorite flavors and textures that are easier to eat. Encourage hydration with broths, smoothies, or iced chips if solid foods are difficult. Create a calm eating environment with soft lighting and soothing music. Most importantly, be present. Eating isn't just about nutrition, it's about connection. Even if they only take a few bites, sharing a meal together can bring comfort, familiarity, and love. Final thoughts. It's not just about food, it's about quality of life. If your loved one is experiencing unintended weight loss and loss of appetite, remember, this isn't just normal aging. It could be a sign that their body is transitioning into its final phase. Instead of fearing this change, we can prepare for it with love, with knowledge, and with the right care. If this information resonated with you, let me know in the comments. Have you noticed these signs in someone close to you? Your story could help others who are going through the same journey. Sign 2. Increased fatigue and sleeping, a sign we shouldn't ignore. Has your elderly loved one been sleeping more than usual, spending most of their day in bed, or showing little interest in activities they once enjoyed? While it's easy to attribute these changes to normal aging, research suggests they could indicate something more significant. Increased fatigue and prolonged sleeping patterns are often subtle but important signs that the body is preparing for the final transition. Recognizing these changes early can help families provide the best possible care and ensure their loved ones spend their remaining time in comfort and dignity. Why do elderly individuals sleep more? According to Healthline, generalized weakness and fatigue become more prevalent as energy levels decline. This shift is due to the body's natural progression toward reduced metabolic function. As organs begin to work less efficiently, the body requires more rest to compensate for the declining energy supply. The Cleveland Clinic explains that as the body nears the end of life, it starts conserving energy by prioritizing only the most vital functions. This means that activities requiring effort, such as eating, talking, or even sitting up, can become exhausting. The result? More hours spent in bed, often in a state of deep sleep or semi-consciousness. Dr. Catherine Mannix, a renowned palliative care physician and author of With the End in Mind, emphasizes that this increased sleepiness is not about laziness or depression. Instead, it's the body's way of naturally shutting down. As the body prepares for the final stage, it gradually releases its hold on wakefulness. Sleep becomes a gentle refuge as the body slows down, she explains. The difference between normal aging and a warning sign. Not all changes in sleep patterns signal an impending decline. A slight increase in napping or feeling more tired after a long day is typical with age. However, prolonged, excessive sleeping, especially when combined with reduced appetite, weight loss, or difficulty staying alert, should not be ignored. Take the case of Mr. Johnson, a 90-year-old man who once enjoyed gardening and playing chess with his grandchildren. Over a few months, his family noticed he was sleeping most of the day and struggling to stay engaged in conversations. They assumed it was just part of growing older. However, after a medical evaluation, doctors diagnosed him with heart failure, a condition that was draining his energy and causing his excessive fatigue. Had his family recognized the signs earlier, they could have sought interventions to improve his comfort and quality of life. Dr. Christopher Kerr, a hospice physician and author of Death is But a Dream, has studied the experiences of thousands of patients in their final weeks. His research reveals that increased sleep is a universal phenomenon among those nearing the end of life. He notes, patients don't just sleep more, they experience a shift in consciousness, where their waking hours are fewer, and their dreams become more vivid, sometimes filled with past loved ones or significant memories. How to support a loved one experiencing increased fatigue. If you notice a loved one sleeping excessively, it's important not to panic, but to take the following steps. 1. Monitor changes. Keep track of their sleeping patterns and energy levels. Are they more tired than usual? Are they struggling to wake up or stay alert even during meals or conversations? 2. Encourage small activities. While rest is essential, gentle movement, such as short walks or listening to music, can help maintain cognitive and physical function. 3. Provide nutritious meals. Fatigue often leads to a decrease in appetite. So offering high-calorie, nutrient-dense meals can help provide energy without requiring large portions. 4. Consult a doctor. Excessive sleepiness could be linked to underlying medical conditions such as heart disease, infections, or even medication side effects. A healthcare provider can help determine the cause and offer solutions. 5. Create a comfortable environment. Ensure their bedroom is quiet, warm, and peaceful. Soft lighting, familiar scents, and comforting sounds can improve their rest quality. Final thoughts. A time for compassion and understanding. Understanding why elderly individuals sleep more is not about fearing the inevitable. It's about preparing for it with love and compassion. Increased sleep is the body's natural way of easing the transition, allowing for comfort in the final stages of life. Instead of feeling helpless, families can use this time to be present, offer reassurance, and create meaningful moments. Whether it's holding their hand, playing their favorite music, or simply sitting by their side, these small acts of love make all the difference. If you've noticed changes in your loved one's energy levels, don't dismiss them as just old age. Take the time to observe, seek medical advice, and ensure they receive the care they deserve. Sign 3. Social withdrawal and decreased interaction, a quiet signal of declining health. Has someone you love started spending more time alone, avoiding conversations, or losing interest in things they once enjoyed? You might think they're just tired or feeling a little off, but sometimes, these subtle changes mean something deeper. Social withdrawal in the elderly isn't just about personality shifts. It can be a warning sign of cognitive decline, depression, or even the body's way of preparing for the final stage of life. The hidden meaning behind social withdrawal. Many families assume that an aging parent or grandparent choosing solitude is simply a personal preference. But research suggests otherwise. Dr. John Cacioppo, a renowned professor of psychology at the University of Chicago, dedicated years to studying loneliness and its effects on health. He found that prolonged social isolation is not just an emotional response, but has profound physiological effects, increasing the risk of cognitive decline, heart disease, and even premature death. Cacioppo and Cacioppo, 2018. Healthline also highlights that as some individuals near the later stages of life, they naturally begin to retreat inward, reducing their interactions with the outside world. This can be a subconscious process, a way of conserving energy, processing memories, or even mentally preparing for what's to come. Consider Ms. Rivera, a 78-year-old woman who used to attend her weekly book club meetings without fail. She loved literature, storytelling, and lively discussions with friends. But over a few months, her enthusiasm faded. She started declining invitations, preferring to stay in her room, often staring out the window or lost in thought. Her family initially dismissed it as simple fatigue. But in reality, this behavioral shift was an early indicator of depression and cognitive decline. Had they recognized it sooner, interventions such as cognitive therapy, social engagement programs, or even medication could have helped slow down the process and improved her quality of life. Why does this happen? The science behind social withdrawal. Dr. Dilip Jest, a leading geriatric psychiatrist at UC San Diego, explains that as brain function changes with age, individuals may struggle more with social interactions, finding them mentally exhausting rather than stimulating. Jest et al., 2020. The decline in dopamine levels, often linked to mood regulation and motivation, can make previously enjoyable activities feel overwhelming or uninteresting. Physiologically, aging also impacts sensory perception. Hearing loss, common among older adults, can make social interactions frustrating, leading to gradual disengagement. A study from the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that seniors with untreated hearing loss are significantly more likely to experience loneliness and cognitive decline than those who use hearing aids. Lin et al., 2013. But there's more. Social withdrawal is also closely tied to a weakening immune system. According to research from Dr. Steve Cole at UCLA, prolonged loneliness triggers stress responses that increase inflammation in the body. accelerating physical decline and making individuals more susceptible to illness. Cole et al., 2015. Recognizing the signs early can change everything. If your loved one is starting to withdraw, don't assume it's just a normal part of aging. Here are some key signs to watch for. Avoiding family gatherings, even small ones they used to enjoy. Losing interest in hobbies, social clubs, or religious services. Spending more time reminiscing alone rather than engaging in the present. Expressing vague feelings of fatigue or disinterest without clear physical symptoms. Ignoring these signs can have serious consequences, but addressing them early can make a world of difference. Encouraging social interaction, even in small ways, like daily conversations, short walks, or engaging in music therapy, can help boost mood, improve brain function, and even extend life expectancy. Dr. Susan Pinker, author of The Village Effect, found in her research that face-to-face interaction is one of the strongest predictors of longevity. Simply put, the more socially connected someone is, the longer and healthier their life tends to be. What can you do today? If you notice these signs in a loved one, don't wait. Here's how you can help. Encourage small, manageable social activities, like sharing a meal together or watching a favorite TV show. Address underlying health issues, such as hearing loss or depression, with a healthcare professional. Introduce activities that stimulate the brain, such as puzzles, light exercise, or reminiscing with photo albums. Most importantly, let them know they are loved, valued, and never alone. If this insight resonated with you, take a moment to share it with someone who might need it. And if you've noticed any of these signs in a loved one, leave a comment below with your experience, because recognizing these signals could mean the difference between loneliness and a life filled with meaningful connection. Time is precious. Let's make every moment count. Sign 4. Cognitive decline and confusion, a subtle yet critical warning sign. Has someone you love started forgetting familiar routes, struggling to follow conversations, or becoming confused about time and place? These may seem like small, harmless lapses, but they could be an early indication that their body and mind are transitioning into their final year. Mild cognitive impairments, such as occasional memory loss, difficulty making decisions, or sudden moments of confusion, are often overlooked. Families tend to dismiss these signs as normal aging. Everyone forgets things sometimes, we tell ourselves. But what if these signs mean something more? What if they are the body's way of signaling that it's time to prepare? Time to cherish moments before it's too late? The science behind cognitive decline in the final stages of life. According to the Mayo Clinic, mild cognitive impairment, MCI, is more severe than typical age-related forgetfulness, but not as debilitating as dementia. Individuals with MCI often experience difficulty with memory, language, and judgment, yet they can still carry out daily activities. However, studies indicate that over 50% of people with MCI progress to dementia within 5 years. One of the leading causes of cognitive decline in the elderly is reduced blood flow to the brain. As we age, arteries can harden, leading to vascular dementia, a condition caused by mini strokes or other blood vessel issues. The National Institute on Aging, NIA, explains that brain cells gradually die when deprived of oxygen and essential nutrients, contributing to memory problems and confusion. Dr. Ronald Peterson, a neurologist and director of the Mayo Clinic Alzheimer's Research Center, emphasizes, when cognitive changes go unnoticed or untreated, families miss a critical window for early intervention. Recognizing these signs early allows for better management and improved quality of life. A real-world example, when we overlook the signs. Take Mr. Lee, an 82-year-old retired teacher. He had always been sharp, recalling historical facts and telling captivating stories from his youth. But then, his family started noticing subtle changes. He occasionally forgot the names of his neighbors, struggled to find the right words, and once got lost on his usual walk to the grocery store. His loved ones dismissed it as normal aging. Dad's just getting old, they reassured each other. But within a year, his confusion worsened. He struggled to follow conversations and sometimes forgot to eat. By the time he was diagnosed with vascular dementia, it was too late for meaningful intervention. What if his family had noticed sooner? What if they had sought medical advice at the first signs of confusion? Early intervention, through cognitive therapy, medications, and lifestyle changes, could have helped slow his decline, giving him more time to recognize and cherish the faces of those he loved. How you can help. Recognizing the signs before it's too late. If you notice a loved one experiencing frequent confusion about time or place, e.g., thinking it's morning when it's night, forgetting familiar routes, e.g., getting lost while driving or walking, struggling with decision-making, e.g., difficulty handling finances or making simple choices, trouble following conversations, e.g., losing track of thoughts mid-sentence, it's time to pay attention. These are not just signs of aging. They could be early warnings of a deeper issue. Dr. Jason Karlawish, a professor of medicine at the University of Pennsylvania, states, memory lapses that interfere with daily life should not be ignored. The earlier we detect cognitive changes, the more options we have for care, support, and planning. This isn't about fear, it's about preparation. Understanding these signs isn't about fearing death. It's about being prepared for it. It's about ensuring that your loved one's final years are filled with dignity, comfort, and meaningful moments. Instead of dismissing these changes, consider scheduling a neurological evaluation, adjusting their environment for safety, and most importantly, cherishing every moment. Because when the time comes, you'll want to know that you did everything you could. Have you noticed these signs in someone close to you? Share your experience in the comments. And if this information helped you, please like, subscribe, and share. It could make all the difference for another family. Sign 5. Physical symptoms and changes. Understanding the body's final transition. Has someone you love started showing subtle physical changes? Perhaps their breathing seems different, or their hands feel colder than usual. At first glance, these shifts might not seem significant, but in reality, they are some of the body's most telling signs that its internal systems are slowing down. Recognizing them early can be the key to ensuring comfort, dignity, and proper care in the final stages of life. The subtle yet critical signs of declining health. When the body prepares for its final transition, certain physical symptoms emerge. According to WebMD, individuals may experience altered sleep-wake cycles, decreased appetite and thirst, reduced bowel movements and urine output, increased pain and discomfort, changes in blood pressure, breathing, and heart rate. While some of these symptoms might resemble normal aging, their sudden or progressive onset often signals that the body's vital systems are beginning to shut down. One of the most commonly overlooked indicators is breathing changes, a subtle yet profound sign that the body is shifting into a different phase. Dr. Christopher Kerr, a renowned palliative care physician and researcher, emphasizes in his studies that labored breathing, pauses between breaths, Cheyne-Stokes respiration, and a general slowing of respiratory rhythm are often among the clearest indicators that the body is preparing for its final transition. Understanding these changes allows families to shift their focus from medical interventions to comfort care, ensuring that their loved one's final moments are as peaceful as possible. A real-life example, the story of Mrs. Patel. Consider the case of Mrs. Patel, an 88-year-old woman whose family noticed her breathing had become irregular. Her hands and feet were often cold, and she seemed increasingly fatigued. At first, they assumed it was simply due to old age. What they didn't realize was that these were signs of her body gradually shutting down. Had they recognized these signals earlier, they might have opted for hospice care sooner, providing her with greater comfort in her final days. According to Healthline, common physical changes at the end of life include cyanosis, a bluish tint to the skin, especially on the hands and feet, mottling, a marbled appearance due to poor circulation, and increased fatigue. These symptoms occur as the body prioritizes essential functions, gradually reducing circulation to the extremities. Understanding these signs can help families make informed decisions about pain management, hydration, and overall care. The importance of recognizing and responding. One of the greatest regrets many families experience is not realizing sooner that their loved one was in their final days. Dr. B.J. Miller, a palliative care specialist and TED speaker, has spoken extensively about how recognizing these physical signs early allows families to shift from trying to fix things to simply being present, offering comfort, and creating meaningful last moments. This isn't just about medical care, it's about presence, about easing discomfort, and about making sure that no one dies feeling alone, Dr. Miller explains. Instead of fearing these changes, we can reframe them as an opportunity. Understanding altered breathing patterns helps families prepare for what's coming instead of being caught off guard. Recognizing cold extremities and skin changes allows caregivers to provide warmth and comfort. Accepting appetite loss can shift the focus from forcing meals to offering favorite flavors or soothing mouth care. The final takeaway, shifting from fear to preparedness. When we ignore or dismiss these physical symptoms, we often leave ourselves unprepared for what's ahead. But by paying attention, we can replace fear with preparedness, panic with purpose, and uncertainty with the confidence to make compassionate choices. If you've noticed these changes in someone close to you, take a deep breath. You're not alone in this journey. The most important thing you can do is be present, be informed, and offer love in the moments that matter most. If you found this insight helpful, share your thoughts in the comments. Have you noticed any of these signs in a loved one? Your experiences could help others going through the same journey. As we've explored these 5 key signs, it becomes clear that recognizing them early can make all the difference in how we support and care for our aging loved ones. While the journey of aging and the end of life can be difficult to face, it also presents an opportunity to show deep love, compassion, and understanding. By being present, listening, and responding with care, we can help ensure that our loved ones feel valued, comforted, and at peace in their final days. If any of these signs resonated with you, or if you have personal experiences to share, let's continue the conversation in the comments below. Your insights could offer comfort and guidance to someone else going through a similar journey. And remember, being aware of these signs isn't about fearing the end, but about making every remaining moment as meaningful and loving as possible.